Oops.
Nobody's saying anything, though. I'm going to go give it a heart and see what happens. Watch it on the screen. Watch it up there.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 90 with Blake Mashour. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you're not a member of our private Facebook group, you should be because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. I want to let you know that the LHRL podcast is censored. If you have children in the car, you should be safe. We will bleep out any dirty words, or try to anyway. All of the topics should be somewhat family friendly, and we'll try to stay on top of that. Some things do slip by me, but I'll do my best to keep it within the lines of decency. I want to tell you about the Lift Heavy Run Long app that we have available, that we're putting in a ton of work to. Me and Vaughn and Valerie Hunt of Run RX she's writing programs, Vaughn's writing programs, I'm pressing the buttons, putting them in the computer. We're trying to bring fitness to as many people as possible for as low of a price as possible. We have a $3.99 a month, get you access to the video galleries and to the app and a daily workout, barbell strength workout, body weight workout. $9.99 a month gets you access to all of the programs that we have. I want to list all the programs that we have. I started going through them today. It's a ton.
Well, it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, I should say. I mean, we added a lot of we put a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So,
and it's just getting bigger. But
right.
we're finally getting it organized, which is helpful.
That's a good point.
Because initially it was like, here's what we have, so we're going to throw it in your app. We're going to cram as much stuff in there as possible, so you open it up and you're like, I don't know if I'm climbing the Himalayas or doing a 10K or supposed to be doing squats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but it's just like, hey, join our app and get some workouts. And people are like, what workout? Like, what app? What's the thing? But now we're getting there.
We're getting there. We have a 5K app, 5K program, 10K program, half marathon, a daily strength and conditioning. Vaughn has his recalibration program if you're burned out or just getting back into fitness. We have a 50K, a 50 miler, a Spartan Sprint. Valerie programmed a Spartan Beast today. Body weight strength and running, half Ironman, run skill and injury prevention, and Valerie's 3-2-1 run program.
Anything that you could possibly want.
Any and all of it. We got it there. And if you are coming off of an injury, have lost your job, coming out of rehab, depressed, don't have any money, have hit the skids, and you need some fitness and we can help you, just let me know and I'll add you to the app. It won't cost you anything until you get back on your feet. Wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. I have sitting to my right the most attractive woman on the planet and my very best friend and the mother to our children who takes such good care of Grayson and Andy Kate, Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, which most people don't know her as that, but they do know jacked and tan.
They do.
Because she is jacked and she is tan and she gets tan just overnight. It's unbelievable and also unfair.
Well, I feel like I'm going to be jacked and tan. I need to be tan because I haven't been going to the tanning bed.
But you went for 3 days.
Yeah, I went 3 days.
And now I'm
back.
Like you're back.
It's my Indian in me.
Yeah. What Indian?
Cherokee.
Cherokee Indian.
Yep. How are you?
I'm good.
Did you have a good day?
I am unjacked and pale. I am pasty pale and cakey. Jacked and tan, cakey and pale.
Cake sounds good.
But I'm doing well.
Good.
Never better. Got
Awesome.
our 50K coming up this weekend. That's going to be long and arduous.
It's be fun and pretty though.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what arduous means. I think it means difficult, right?
I don't know. It's a big word.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that. So then to your right, we have our friend Blake Mashour.
Yep.
Who is a kickboxing instructor.
Mm-hmm.
You say martial arts and judo?
I've started to train very, very lightly in jiu-jitsu.
Uh-huh. And also a member of, I guess a founding member of the F3 program in Memphis?
I wouldn't say founding, but I was there when they started it in Memphis, yeah.
Okay. And next to Blake, we have the Reverend.
Hello.
Von Rawls, who is also not just the Reverend Von Rawls, he is also a Tailwind ambassador.
That is correct.
Is that the right term, ambassador?
No.
Trailblazer?
I guess that's the same thing. It's like their ambassador program, but it is called, excuse me, geez. 3.
Quit that.
I gotta
Get it together.
I'm trying. So it's not necessarily an ambassador program. I think it's the same thing. It's just called Trailblazers. But I am one of them.
What do you have to do to be so good that people stand in line to represent your product? You know, why what do you have to do for somebody to be like, you know what? I want to work for you for nothing.
That's a really good question. And here's the answer. The answer is your stuff works, right? So I've dropped the ball on like people like saying, hey, here, let me send you this product and take it, and then you can tell me what it's like, and you can be the whatever. And if it doesn't work, I'm just like, like, what am I going to do? Like, go tell people, hey, I took it and it kind of worked a little bit, or maybe it didn't work at all. But this stuff is amazing. Like, it works. Like, I don't take a whole lot of supplements. I don't, do that thing. I take ZMA and that's about it, because ZMA works. Like, I'm not going to get sponsored by ZMA because those are like natural whatever. But I took Tailwind and I immediately saw a change and a difference, right? Like no more gels, no more of that crap, no more pills. I'm like, when I normally run 50 miles or whatever, I'm gobbling those pills. I'm eating goos like all day long, and that sucks. Like, that sucks big time. So when I started Tailwind, I could just ditch all that stuff and just have one thing. And I was just amazed by that. And it makes me feel fantastic while I'm running. So I ran 26 hours and felt great the entire time. I didn't eat one gel. I didn't take one pill. I ate food at the aid stations, but I just took Tailwind and it worked, and I felt fantastic the entire time. And I was so worried about, I ran 50 miles before, and I was so worried what was going to happen after that. I was like, oh my God, I'm just going to tank, and something's going to like cramp up, or something's going to stop working, and I'm not going to be able to finish this race. What is going to happen? And I felt like I was on cloud 9 the entire time. I never once had, over 26 hours, thought, oh, this is it. This is over. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I felt my everything. My muscles felt good. I had no cramps. Everything was great, and that's why I wanted so badly to get onto this program, because it's something that actually works, and I know it works, and I can say it works, and you can go take it, and I'm 100% sure it'll work.
Firm believer right there.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yes. And so that's the difference between like me just being like, hey, it'd be cool if I could get some free protein from somebody, whether it works or not. You can send me some protein. I can take it. And it's probably just like every other product out there, and I can say, oh, well, oh yeah, I love this product. It works, but I don't really know. I know that Tailwind works because I drink it and it works, and I don't have to go buy 15 goos every time I'm going to go run a, ultra marathon.
Well, you're definitely excited about it.
I am excited about it. And
More
it might be
excited
weird.
than I've ever seen you about anything in
It
your
might.
life. Like, I want you to get this excited about Lift Heavy Run Long.
There you go.
I want you to
Touche.
post. I want you to post
Touche.
as much about Lift Heavy Run
Touche.
Long as you do about Tailwind.
But fair enough. That's a great point.
Okay.
I will move toward that.
Because Tailwind has something going on, but Tailwind's a good product.
It really is.
And you do 20 or 30 miles worth of goos, and you just feel like I can't do it.
It's terrible.
I can't do it. I
Yeah.
can't take another one of these things, or I'm just gonna have to cut my head off.
I've done like in the 50 milers, I've done 25 of goo, and then ditched the goo, and then tried to do 25 of just eating aid station food. But you still have to drink Gatorade and eat the salt tablets and get the electrolytes somewhere, and it's just a pain in the butt to have to organize that, and you got to carry all this stuff with you. I got a backpack with Tailwind in it, and I'm gone.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel that. Y'all want to talk about reviews?
Do we have some?
Yeah, we got some.
All right.
We got 2 of them.
Good or bad?
Good.
Okay.
Excellent. 5 stars.
All right.
You want me to read them? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to because I'm so excited about having them. I feel like after I read them, then they're gone. It's like having pills in your pocket. And then after you take them, even right when you take them, you're like, well, now they're gone. Even before they have a chance to hit you, you're already worried about not having any more pills. Y'all don't know what it's like to be hooked on pills.
I do not know
Sorry.
what it's like unless Tailwind makes pills. Find out.
All right. 5 stars. February 27th, 2018. Amazing with 2 exclamation points. You guys are all awesome and an inspiration to me. Thank you for all you do.
Wow. That was good.
You want to know who wrote it?
Yeah.
Do we know?
Abby Rawls.
Oh,
She finally made a review.
thanks, Abby.
You want to hear the next one?
Is it Abby?
I hope it is.
This one was March 6, 2018. Exactly 1 week later. 5 stars. Awesome. Only 1 exclamation point. Thanks so much for all you do. You guys rock. I'm guessing that's from Ultra Atlanta. Do you think that's Abby's boyfriend?
I doubt it.
Because I sent her a text that said, and that would be on February 27th, 2018, your job for today is to leave a 5-star written review on iTunes and get your boyfriend's phone and leave one. If you don't, I'm going to leave dirty socks in your locker and poison in your pre-workout.
That's funny.
You got to get action.
I don't know.
You got to get these
I
people
don't know
to
if these
take
are worth
action.
it if you're threatening people like that.
Absolutely, it's worth it to threaten people.
It's worth it. It makes a difference. Hey, if you want to get on that iTunes recommended list when you scroll through and say, hey, here's the top fitness or whatever podcast, people will click on those. I do it. And that plays a direct role.
There's going to be new locks on everybody's lockers at the gym tomorrow. They'll be scared.
I don't know why everybody at the gym hasn't left a review on iTunes. It's beyond me.
I don't either. It's because we don't threaten them.
I'll put it on the chalkboard.
And we don't. Yes, we're not as direct as we should be. We're so passive when it comes to pushing Lift Heavy Run Long, and I am because I've always felt like I don't want to be selling anything. I don't want to make somebody do something they don't want to do.
Well,
but
now
we're
selling
also in a
things.
position where like we need to be pushing.
That's right.
And making people not necessarily do what they don't want to do, but we need to encourage them to do something that would benefit us.
Okay, so I don't remember, but if Dawn or Chris Miller or Amanda Draw Miller's left one, if they haven't left one, they need to because they're watching right now.
They need to do it right now.
They do it right now.
At this moment. And there's a video. Vaughn put a video up on how to do it.
I did.
That's
I
how
should probably
bad we
reshare that every
need
week.
them.
We need to get a little more tailwind about this and have some ambassadors.
More tailwindy about this whole
Right.
situation.
Who wants to be a Lift Heavy Run Long
Ambassador.
Ambassador.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I am.
Just-
Can I be our first one?
promote. I was gonna send that if you didn't get the Tailwind Trailblazer thing. I was gonna let you know we've got a trademark company that I would like you to be an ambassador for.
Here's what we should do. We should take the list of the things you remember you texted me. What do you have to do for them? And I should have to do that for Lift Heavy Run Long.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely.
That's a
I did
great-
not want to passively aggressively do just
But you just
that.
did, didn't you?
I was going
You
to
just ninja'd me, man.
I was going to copy and paste exactly that and then put Lift Heavy Run Long ambassador.
But it's
program.
even better because now I came up with it.
Yep. So now it's yours. So do that. Do
That's
that
awesome.
thing.
I'll do that.
Blake.
Sorry, man. We just took up like 20 minutes of your podcast talking
not
about
a problem.
I'm
Tail
trying
Not a problem.
to-
The less I talk, the better it is.
You're also known as Billy Blade.
Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks. God, I knew I was going to mess that up.
Billy Blank.
Billy Blank.
That is my name in F3.
Michael Shelton told me to call you that. What is his name?
His name is Pops.
Because he's an old man.
He's really not as old as you think. Or at least
He's old enough to be nicknamed Pops.
he is. He is.
How does that happen? How did we reach a point where all of a sudden people that we work out with were considered the old people?
Well, y'all aren't because he talks about you and being friends with you, so I'm going to go ahead and group y'all together. Y'all aren't that old. But usually with F3, we make different. It can be anything. Everybody has a different nickname. If you come in, we ask you to tell your name, just a little bit about you. And then we ask, it depends on the mood we're feeling that day. And it only happens once. It only happens on your first workout. You ask, where was your first kiss, or describe your first kiss. What teams do you like? Because if somebody has a first kiss, that's really embarrassing. Like one guy last week, he said, well, it was in high school and I missed her, and so we named him Wide Right. So just simple things just to at least make you have fun and laugh. And when they found out I taught kickboxing, immediately somebody said Billy Blanks.
Do you know who Billy Blanks is?
I don't.
The Tybo guy?
He's the Tybo, the black guy that does the.
I know
the
who you're talking about, but I
DVDs.
didn't know his name was Billy Blank.
Yes.
I didn't either, but it made me laugh. I almost assumed that was who it had to be.
Is that dude still around doing Tybo?
He's probably owning an island somewhere
He's probably got a private, he's
Yeah.
sitting in his mansion
with
going,
his own ambassador program,
collecting ambassadors.
having other people do the work for him. Brilliant. So F3 stands for Fitness, Fellowship, and
Faith.
Faith. Mm-hmm. And is that a non-denominational thing? Or
It is. It doesn't really matter which religion or if you even have a religion, since not everybody does. But the basis is it's more than just you. You're not the only thing that matters. It's putting others first, and that's the one thing I've really appreciated is there's been a different group of people that I've gotten to meet since August that have the willingness to want to get together with other men and work out, because if it's like me, I'm isolated, so the less I talk, the better I am, better off I am. But it also gives us a chance to come together and serve and just learn from each other and push each other.
And that's another thing. It is men only.
It is. It's a men only thing, and the goal is to grow, plant, grow, and then serve other groups of men. But we'll do service projects. We did one where we cleaned out a lady's house, a hoarder's house. So we're getting into that point where we can serve the community and getting the gunpowder to do that now that we have quite a bit of people around the town.
Wow.
How many people are in the group?
On our little chat, there's 200, but I know there's other people that aren't in the group me because it'll really kill your phone battery and memory. The amount of some people talking all the time, but it's a blast. It's a great place for the banter to happen.
And so important. Mm-hmm. Man, that community is so important. Mm-hmm. You know, we do CrossFit, you know that, and that's where I find my community. And I don't know if I would, I can only think of what I would be doing if it wasn't for that. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's so many people who probably need that and have no idea they need it until they come to an F3 or a CrossFit.
And especially in the rain, because we meet, it doesn't matter what the weather's like, hot, cold, rain, shine, we're still meeting. The only way that it actually gets canceled or postponed is the lightning and ice, just for safety reasons and purposes like that. So if it's raining in the morning, I'm the worst one. I don't want to be there. A lot of mornings I'll sleep in. Call it smart sacking. Fart sacking is what they also call it, but it's basically skipping the workout. But we'll get a group text saying, if it's about you, go back to bed. But if it's about getting better with your brothers, we'll see you in the morning.
Oh, they put the big guilt on you.
Yeah,
Wow.
it works sometimes. It worked on, when was it raining? Monday? Because I sure got up, and because I'll wake up every morning. Now, if I'm going to go is a different question.
Right, yeah.
So if it's pouring down rain, what happens? You guys just go at it in the pouring down rain?
Well, I actually led in the pouring rain, was it 2 weeks ago? And since I'm not a big fan of the rain, I did jumping jacks or side shuttle hops, and I told the group, if they show up late, they know where we're at, and I just sprinted to the awning. So I mainly work out at Houston High School. Behind Houston High School, there's a skate park.
Yeah.
And they have a big awning with some picnic tables. So if you get creative, you can spend a lot of time in the picnic tables. And that way I stay dry too, because it's not fun getting rained on the whole time.
And it's all body weight.
Body weight, well, we do have coupons, which are, some people have cinder blocks, some people have bricks that they bring to the workout, and partner stuff. So we'll carry each other, we'll do different partner exercises, and we get creative with how we do things. So like with our ruck group, we actually have walked through the trails at Shelby Farms, and we'll just, there's a random tree while we were getting ready for a Go Ruck event. Somebody said, all right, let's grab it. So they just started picking up. So all of a sudden you see a group of men walking with sandbags and a tree now out of the blue. So we get creative with whatever we can use.
So do you do you just make this up when everybody gets there, or do you guys have somebody that says, okay, this is what we're going to do this week every day? Or
so we have it's a peer-led thing. So it's a free fitness avenue. It's a free gym. Without the commitment or anything. And so each week or each workout has a cue. It's the leader of the workout. And so we have the opportunity through this group me, or if you know somebody, just to say, or they'll send out the people in charge of each little workout group will say, hey, I need a leader or a cue on this day. So then you can sign up and say, hey, that's me. It's first come, first serve basis. So everybody has their different things. But usually you try to write it out before, just so you have that chaos, or you don't have the chaos, and it's organized. But it's part of the whole premise of F3 is to develop leadership. And so this gives you an opportunity.
Yeah.
So the disclaimer that we give at the beginning, even though technically I am a fitness professional, I have to say I'm not a fitness professional. And it's the whole point of trying to get people that aren't fitness professionals or kind of hidden in the cracks to come out, get their feet wet a little bit, and lead a workout themselves.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's a great idea. Yeah. I talk about this sometimes, where when I first started coaching CrossFit classes, it was a huge game changer for me, because normally I would be like this huge introverted person that I don't want to talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. And so when I started doing that and coaching classes, it made a huge difference in my work place, to where all of a sudden I'm not scared to talk to my boss, or not scared to talk to the person that's on the phone or whatever, at work that day, because because all of a sudden I come out of this shell that is, I would rather not speak to anyone, because that's just how I'm wired, to where now I'm leading a group class, and I realize that I can actually speak to somebody if I need to, so that's a huge thing. That's great.
And it's so great to watch all these people, because you see them at their first workout. The motto is leave no man behind, but leave no man the same as he was before, or like you found him. So you'll see these guys that are quiet, or they're the last ones that are working out, can't do anything. And then all of a sudden, a week, 2 weeks later, they're right in the middle of the bunch, pushing you along when you're struggling and trying to beat yourself up on the inside. They're the ones that actually kind of pick you up and lift you up and push you through the finish. So it's great to see that. But then when they actually get their chance to cue and lead the workout, you're like, oh my gosh, this person needs to be quiet and go right back, because they'll whip out some crazy workout that all of a sudden you're like, okay, this was sleeping in would have been a lot better than trying to do this stuff.
What kind of guidelines are put on the people that program the workouts?
Basically, it's their choice. There's no really guideline.
No time? No.
Well, the time limit is there's 45 minutes. On the weekday mornings, we meet from 5:30 to 6:15. And I think there's 5 or 6 places around town on different days of the week that'll meet. And then on Saturday is our long workout. Saturday is our hour-long workout from 7 to 8 at Shelby Farms, where we originally launched. And so that gives us a chance to work out a little bit. That extra 15 minutes will get you going. But on the weekday mornings, there's no excuse not to show up. You're done by 6:15. I leave immediately to go help get my wife ready for school so she can get out the door and move on. Some guys will go meet up for a cafeteria and relax, kick back, but they're done with their workout for the day, unless they do something else. Now, there's our guys that'll go to other gyms. Like I'll go to the Germantown Center with my wife at night sometimes when I can, and do different avenues that way. But you have your workout, so you don't have any excuse.
It doesn't. How much does it cost?
Free.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it's completely free. It's just show up. You get your after your first workouts, you get your silly nickname, and hopefully the group. So the fitness is the magnet, and then the community is the glue. The fellowship is the glue, because you develop those little friendships through the process. Because like you, a bunch of men and that's including me, we're introverts. We don't really open up to each other. So we end each workout with what we call a circle of trust and locking shields, to show that we're here together. Somebody will pray, whether you agree with that, that's on you. But you can circle up, pray, and just to show that we have each other's back. And we're willing to, if somebody needs prayer, great, we'll pray for you immediately. If somebody needs help with something, we'll reach out and try to help each other out throughout different projects.
I like what you said. Whether you pray, that's on you, and that it's not too judgy. Or too hard.
We're still going to pray.
Yeah, so. We're still going to pray. And I'm still going to pray. But if you don't want
like
to,
it, you do.
But we haven't had any issues with that, so that's been that's the main deal, is trying to show that it's more than you. Life is more than about you, whether it's your family, your job, something. You're not the first point in line.
I have a hard time getting past that on many occasions. Left my own devices, I can just sit around all day and think about myself and nobody else.
Yeah.
And getting into something like that, I think, is a fine way to fix that.
Yeah, because they pushed me to. So I started doing the ruck with them, which is if you put a backpack on with weight. My plate is a 31-pound plate. And we did a Go Ruck event. There were 16 of us that did it together in January. It was awful. But the whole time, it was a kind of like a team emphasis. Even the group that wasn't part of F3, you have to cohesive or have that little effect, because if you're the first one done with an exercise, the cadre or the leader will say, I'm sorry, is this an individual event or a team event? Which means you better hightail it, go to the last person, and bring it in with them. So that definitely has taught me, or especially that event alone taught me, that once I'm tired, it doesn't matter about me. I'm here with a group of people to push forward through all this.
What Go Ruck did you do?
I did Go Ruck Light, and it was the MLK one this past January.
Where was it?
We met at the park downtown. I don't even know, Tom Lee Park at the statue.
Okay.
And then we ended up walking. It was right after the snow. It was actually when there was ice, because the Saturday was the tough, and they had the 12-hour of that, and then we had a couple guys do the tough and the light so they could do it with us. Eventually, we worked our way to the Metal Museum Hill. There's a huge hill that we did the deck of cards with our rucksacks, with 4 different. Oh, well, it was nice because the day before they had to do it, one of the suits was hill sprints. So that was our joker. That was our relaxation. Because otherwise we would have done, was it 100 or 99 total, however they did the numbers, hill sprints, which would have been awful. But then we had our little team bonding. The cadre read a little bit about MLK, and then he said, okay, you have a time hack, and it was to get to the Lorraine Motel. So then we all had to work together to get back, and it was a fun event. And then it was awful, but it was a great time.
Back when we first opened our gym, I did the deck of cards workout, and it was when nobody was coming to the gym because we were brand new. And I had this one girl show up at 5 a.m. for a workout, and it was the deck of cards, and I was so excited about it. And like halfway through, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm like punishing this person, like in a way that nobody should ever be punished." And I just felt I will never forget that moment, like going, "Oh god!" And she's a friend of mine too, and I'm like, "Ah."
Is she still around? She's
No.
still alive?
No, she's not at the gym anymore, of course. But
She never came back.
well,
What do you mean, of course? Because of that workout?
Probably so. Like I just felt so terrible. Like that's a nasty thing to put on somebody, especially somebody that has a hard time doing burpees or whatever. Like
I've never done the deck of cards.
it's tough.
Just
Not
put an
heard of
extra
it.
35 pound or 30 pounds with a rucksack on it. It'll really amp up the workout.
I
It
can't
was-
imagine having extra weight
Yeah.
trying to do something like that.
But you're a busy guy. You go straight from F3 to what's your full-time job?
Well, I was an athletic trainer. I just recently quit to start nursing school. So now but with athletic training, I was working in the afternoons. So I worked afternoon around 12 or 1 until all the events were done at school. So the morning time was really my time to relax, and whether it was start practicing the jiu-jitsu that I did close to November and December, still get to go about once a week with that, or teaching the kickboxing. So no matter what, it's always on the go.
Are you still teaching kickboxing?
I am. I teach it in, where is it? Bartlett at Memphis Fitness Kickboxing.
And you enjoy that?
I love it. I took it for about 3 years before I started took it before I started teaching, which was a blast. And now I enjoy getting to watch other people succeed through that.
That stuff will wear your monkey butt out.
Yes.
People watch people like box on television, and they get to the 12th round, and you're like, knock them out, like hit them harder. And you're like, those guys cannot pick their arms up from their sides. I mean, those things feel, if you stand in front of a punching bag and punch it as hard as you can for 2 minutes, you're done. If you can make it 2 minutes,
Yes,
then
that
you're
is
a much stronger man than I am.
absolutely, and it's a full body workout. So that's why I try to get all the people that take my class to realize, because if you're just throwing your arms, then you're going to wear out. But if you use your core, I hate doing simple crunches. I hate doing sit-ups and all that. So I try to show it's a full body workout just to hit the bag.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to sit there and take the time to say, okay, now we'll do sit-ups. No, we'll do other core exercises, but the whole point of the class is a full body workout. So why not use your full body while you're hitting the bag?
My buddy, a friend of mine, Doug, used to be a fighter, and one day he taught me how to wrap your hands and put the gloves on and hit the bag. And he tells me the workout. He sets the clock and he goes, "Okay, taught me how to punch, right? Because I didn't know anything, like how to stand and punch, and there's an art to that."
Yes.
So he kind of gave me the instruction on that, and he goes, "Okay, you're gonna hit the bag for, I don't know what it was, like a minute. Then you're gonna rest, or 30 seconds. Then you're gonna rest in like Tabata or something. And you're gonna punch, jab, punch, jab, whatever it was." And he's like, "Just do that, and I'll be back in a little bit." And he walked off. Like, he comes back like 20 minutes later, and I'm like dripping in sweat, and I feel terrible. I'm like, punch, jab. How long do I have to do this? Like, it was nasty, man. That's a great workout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had a couple pair of boxing gloves growing up, and we box all the time. And you watch those guys on TV, and you want to look like them. They just look like that's just kind of what you do. And you put on a pair of boxing gloves, and you fight with somebody else, and you realize how much training and discipline goes into that. And it's nothing like that. No. I mean, those guys are absolute masters of their craft. And just knowing how to throw a punch properly is, I I don't know how long you'd have to train to master something.
Oh man, yeah. The few times I've been kickboxing, it'll kick your
It
butt.
was funny because what Doug said when he was teaching me all this stuff, he goes, it was like we spent 30 minutes, and he goes, now you could probably win 95% of the bar fights you get in.
Yeah.
Just because you know how to throw a punch.
Yeah.
You know, because most people are just like doing this number or whatever.
The vast majority of them.
Yeah. If you know how to keep your guards up and
stay calm.
throw a punch.
Yeah,
and stay
there
calm.
was
Yeah.
there was an MMA fighter who had a segment. I remember watching him on YouTube, and it was how to win any bar fight, and it was just the simplest techniques to either get you out of the situation, or to just go ahead and take care of the problem rather quickly without all the dancing around and trying to act like you're Bruce Lee. There's a few things that you can do that's going to give you the advantage over most people in the world, because we all want to think we know how to fight. Mm-hmm. But when, the rubber meets the road, most of us don't. And I'll put myself in the don't category, no matter how much I want to believe that I do.
Mm-hmm. There's an awesome video of a security guard. You'd have to look it up on YouTube, but some kid comes up and starts messing with him and try to fight him or whatever. And this dude was obviously a boxer, and he just, all the security guard does is get in. He just puts his hands up like this, and this kid's wailing at him, and the kid can't hit him. And every once in a while, the dude just pops him. He's obviously knows what he's doing, and this kid's just getting his ass beat because he's he's just wailing at this security guard, and this guy's just bam, bam, and eventually the guy just goes down.
If you fight somebody that even remotely knows what they're doing, you're in big trouble. You're going to lose.
Right.
There's a video of some guys trying to play a prank on somebody's filming them from the second story, and what they're going to do is act like they don't see the guy and his girlfriend walking past, and then act like they're pointing at something, and he hits the girl, and it's supposed to be funny. Mm-hmm. And there's two, maybe three guys, and this guy turns out to be a boxer. So as soon as the guy hits his girlfriend, he's like, whack, and that dude goes down, and the other guy comes towards him. He's like, whack, whack, and then the third guy's like,
that guy just
don't
runs
really know
away.
what to do. And so he takes him down. Then the other guy gets up in time for him to, just beats them all up twice in 10 seconds. That's what the luck. So you're going to nursing school. Are you getting out of the kickboxing altogether?
Not altogether. I still hope to have some classes to teach, and whenever they need somebody, if somebody's going out of town or whatever, or even if my classes line up to where I can teach, because at this point it's a passion. I've really enjoyed it. It's a good stress relief, because if I need to hit the bag while I'm teaching, just to show, it's kind of nice that I can do that, or use the focus mitts to help get all my energy out.
Fitness is obviously important to you. You told me earlier that you're a former fat guy.
Yes. I still claim I am, or I feel like I am. But that's one of those things that I'm going to always have to work on with the psychology part of it. But yeah, I was 300 pounds, especially when I met Amanda in Jackson while we were both at Union, when she was in her postgraduate studies and I was in my bachelor studies.
So how old were you at that point in time?
At that point,
20?
Was I already 20? Yeah. I was about 20, 21.
Had you been 300 pounds your whole growing up? Were you always heavy?
No, I didn't. I was actually, I don't want to say pretty fit, but I was normal size until 6th grade, and then I don't know what happened, but I started ballooning up quick. In college, I realized why I was ballooning up, because it didn't matter what I did. My eating habits were atrocious. Mm-hmm. Not that they're better at the moment, but it's way better than when I used to eat a pack of Hawaiian rolls from Kroger. I'd buy them at Kroger. It was less than 200 yards to the entrance of campus, and the whole pack was gone. So yeah, but
ain't nothing but a step for a stepper.
Nope, absolutely. It was a great way to put on the weight. Stay warm. That's why I'm usually cold now, and I don't like that. I'll tell my wife, I just wish I had some of the weight back on just so I could actually be warm again. But I guess that's what heating blankets are for.
I have a thing that I talk about sometimes where that fat guy kind of haunts you in a way, and there's a spot where there's a line you're not going to cross. Like that dude eating that big old thing of rolls on the way back to your dorm or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. You're never going to do that again, right? But you might eat half the pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you eat half the pack, and then you're like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Fat dude would have ate the whole thing. I'm getting close to eating the whole thing now. I got to change something because I'm getting too close to getting back to where that 300. Does that guy haunt you? Because that guy haunts me to a
absolutely
pretty big
does.
degree.
And I'm lucky that my wife doesn't like to eat a lot of rice or tortillas or I hate to say carbs, but because we eat ourselves out of ice cream. Now she has the Halo top, so that she at least saves some calories. But I do feel like that's always going to be something I'm going to struggle with. And the minute I start feeling myself slipping, like lately, I went through around Christmas time, I kind of was eating a little more than I needed, and then I realized, oh wait. And we've done all the not crash diets, but we've tried Atkins, we've tried the keto diet, we've tried all that where we get a little bit of success, but the big thing is just watching what I eat in the first place. So that's when I graduated from Union, I moved to Union City, Tennessee, which is really, really small town, northwest Tennessee. And so I didn't know a soul there. And so it was great because that's exactly what I needed. My dad started eating better, or started this new lifestyle habit, or lifestyle change is what we were calling it. We weren't using the diet word because we know how those work out.
They don't work.
No. And so he started it, and I said, what a better way to support him than do it up here at the same time and try to encourage him to lose weight. And I definitely needed to lose the weight because I would work out at Union some. I would work out enough not to be 300. If I felt like I was going to be 300 pounds, I was not stepping on the scale. 299, that's fine. But I was still active, but my eating habits were atrocious. Rice, chicken, and cheese. Basically, anything with carbs, I was eating it all. So in Union City, I got the plan that my dad was using, that he had got from somebody. And it was basically the 7 meals a day, low carb, not completely taking out carbs. And so I would eat that, and luckily the clinic I worked at, I was able to sneak off into the kitchen. I was working at a PT clinic in the morning, and then I'd work at a school in the afternoon covering all their sports at Union City High School. And so then as I started noticing that, I was like, oh, I'm actually kind of losing a little weight. And at the same time, my football coach that I was working for, he was a very adamant runner. And so he would run 10 miles before practice. All right, easy. He said, just go run. Go run a lap around the track. And so I started running a lap around the track, which then developed into eventually 3 miles, and starting to get into it. And I was losing weight. Then he would invite me to do the insanity workouts with the football team. So It worked out great not to have the temptations of, hey, you want to go eat at Taco Bell, or hey, you want to go eat Mexican, because it was a lot cheaper. Because I'm a big Dave Ramsey guy, so I'm going to save as much money as possible. So I would just eat at home all the time. So I didn't have any temptations at that point until I moved back home.
Well, you said that the fat guy is always there.
Yes, he's always there.
And I suffer from that as well. You know, I don't think that ever goes away. I haven't seen one sign, even when I've been at my lightest, there's been no sign of that person ever going away. And whether it's that fat person or whether it's just the low self-esteem that says something else is wrong. You know, it's always going to be there unless I don't know what you have to do to
I'll feel better if I eat this whole pizza.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just give me the ice cream and I'll be happy. No, and when I was in sports psychology, we talked about eating habits and food disorders, and one of our slides had the picture of anorexia, where it's a normal looking girl, but she'd look in and she'd see the super fat girl, and so she would always try to eat less or throw up, whatever she was struggling with. And so I kind of take that as, wait, I can struggle with that and not be the fit person or anything, because I might look good. When I hit a couple months before my wedding, my wife got me into juicing, which was great. It was good, but I hit 179, which is a number that I couldn't even imagine trying to hit today. But I'd still look in the mirror and be like, this is not right. Like I'm way heavier than I am. And so then I started eating normal food. Juice is good, don't get me wrong, but I still need my meat at some point.
Yep.
But I think that's always going to be the struggle of no matter what I do, I just need to do it in moderation because I know I can slip at any time.
I did the juice thing I was going to do a 10-day juice cleanse, and I made it past the 3 days of just, basically crying and being like, what am I supposed to do without, you want to go home and eat. Like, that's what you do is you eat. And when you can't do that, then you make it through, and then you're not hungry anymore. And I felt like, well, I'm doing this, so I might as well keep doing it. And everybody's saying this is a bad idea. And so then I'm like, well, to hell with all y'all for even saying that, so I'm going to continue doing it. And then it got to where it was 30 days, and the only reason I quit was because we had a half marathon we were doing. But I was dropping all this weight, but I was also getting weak really, really fast, and my head was getting big, and my skin was falling everywhere, and I just looked and felt like doo-doo. And but I've done that kind of stuff. I don't know how to lose weight. I've never lost weight in a healthy manner. I've crashed 100 times in my life where I just stop eating, or like you said, the Atkins or some kind of deal like that. But I've never gained strength and lost weight or done anything that you're supposed to do.
Yeah. See, I've appreciated it because my wife she wants to eat healthy too, so we try to keep each other accountable for the most part. So we know how to cook. We got a pressure cooker. That's the big thing that's helped me is getting a pressure cooker, because the way I cooked vegetables, I thought I was cooking them right. Wasn't cooking them near as long as they should have been cooked. My wife would tell me, this isn't supposed to be hard. So I'm learning what actual vegetables taste like now, and soft. And but the thing that my dad had given me, there was a lot of protein in it, but at night the big thing was to drink a low-calorie protein shake before bed. That way your metabolism's constantly going and it doesn't stop. So once I'm up in the morning, I'm not nearly as hungry because my metabolism had been going all night. And so...
Can you eat Halo Top instead?
There actually is protein in that. I've read the label when I felt awful when I ate it, so I refused to touch that. The one time that I did it. But I'll go buy it for my wife in a heartbeat. But I have no problem just doing a little milkshake, or not a milkshake. That sounds delightful. But I'll just do protein powder and sometimes, and that'll help keep me up, and that'll help me wake up in the morning to do the men's group.
You feel better when you sleep with protein in you? Well, Amanda eats well. And one of us is on most of the time. And as long as one of us is on, both of us are going to be somewhat on. And she's been really on here for the past however long, because we were both really off for a while. And when she goes on hardcore, then, I get to see her, and it works, And so watching her, then I want to do it. But today, I sent her a text that said, I ate 2 white bread sandwiches today for lunch. One of them was bologna and one of them was turkey, and 2 bags of chips. So I got to, do right tonight. So it's nice to be able to, neither one of us are just locking up the refrigerator and trying to change our world overnight. But we also have that stop that Vaughn was talking about, that we don't want to go there because we can.
Oh, yeah.
Amanda and I, between the two of us, if it was a race, if it was a bet, if there was another couple sitting in this room that said we can get fatter than you faster, we would wear them out. There's nobody in the country that could do it better than Amanda.
I don't know. That sounds like a challenge.
What if that was what you needed to do for your health?
That would be the funnest.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be a great way to do
I already
it.
have 10 things in my head what I want to eat right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
And we could just get started and eat ourselves around the world. Feels like what you need to do, we got to get you up to 500 pounds quickly, or else.
I could do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, I have a hard time, but on some intellectual level, I want to believe that I'm the only one that suffers that I'm the only person that really has to work on not overeating. I say that to Pedro all the time. I could eat forever. And he's like, that's everybody. Everybody can eat forever.
These guys that are like, I'm putting on gains. I got to drink a whole gallon of milk every day and do all this. I'm like, if you tell me that I got to put on weight, I got it. I got this. I don't need a gallon of milk a day. You can just set me loose and just tell me just whatever. Squat and eat whatever you want. I can do that.
Yeah, for sure. You said you're an ice cream guy. You're a sweets guy more than anything else?
Oh yeah.
Oh, me too.
Sweets than bread.
I'm crap food. I'm pizza, chicken tenders. If you told, probably if the goal was just don't eat any sweets and you'll be healthy, I could probably stay off sweets almost forever because sugar gives me really bad anxiety. But yet sometimes I'm like, you know what? I want sugar. And if I'm going to eat a piece of cake, then we're going to Kroger and we're getting a cake.
Like a sheet cake.
I'm not kidding.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
We went to by Hilly World, whatever the redneck grocery store is down here, and we got a cake,
Oh, Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly, a cake, a thing of icing, a whole container of icing, a piece, and a gallon of ice cream, and came back and I ate the entire.
Yeah, I don't do that. I would
Thing
rather
of
have
icing.
the most enormous pizza you could imagine.
See, I've been craving pizza for the
I
last few days.
I could ditch.
Badly.
I don't even remember the last time I ate a piece of cake.
Really,
I don't.
But cake sounds really good too.
I won't eat it at birthday parties because I know that's what
I just don't
I'll
want
eat
it.
cake. I like it,
Really.
but I want ice cream with it.
I want a double quarter pounder with cheese. 2 of them, and 2 of the biggest McDonald's French fries you could imagine. I could crush that. And I don't remember the last time I ate at McDonald's, but
My typical
I could
McDonald's
tear it
meal
up.
was a double quarter pounder with cheese, a biggie size fry, the $1 spicy McChicken with cheese, and the $1 double cheeseburger with the 32-ounce high C orange. I love that high C orange, made
So at
entirely
Jack's-
of sugar.
So at Jackson, it's a bunch of the town is fast food. So what did you eat? What
Oh
did
no!
you eat around?
My favorite thing was the Mexican buffet
Oh.
that I would go to.
Ooh, they have milk still?
No, it's not there still. They've actually moved to Humboldt because there's so many Mexican restaurants in Jackson.
Okay.
But they took away the buffet portion. But that was a staple in my diet because my roommate at the time he knew.
Staple in my diet.
Oh, absolutely. He knew all the people. We didn't have cable at the house, so our form of cable, if we wanted to watch a game, we'd go sit in the back and watch their cable, and if we need to, we'd roll the silverware or just eat. There's plenty of issues where I ate way too much and then threw up after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically my big thing. But then, Brooksy's Barn was up there. Anything
Yeah.
buffet wise was one of my things that I would do. And simple fast food.
What did the moment look like when something had to give? Do you remember a distinct, like, this is going to change? Or did you say that all the time? Something's going to change and then wake up? And,
I said that senior year. So I've had a couple of those moments for the fitness part wise. But the first time was when my dad told me that he was going to lose weight, and I could actually tell he meant it. So that's why I wanted to do the eating with him, just so I could support him from afar. I was 2 hours away, but I could still encourage him from far away. So that was the first gotcha moment because I realized, what am I doing? And that's the big thing is you can't really make a change unless you have a why. So that was my why, was I need to make a better person for myself while my dad's doing the same thing at the same time. And then I did that for a year. I came back to Memphis and did 2 years of grad school. And I started gaining really fast because I worked for the University of Memphis as a GA. So I was traveling with teams. I was eating the food all the time and kind of just stopped paying attention. I got back up to 250. So at that point, I had gained about 35 pounds back.
Mm-hmm.
And as something's got to change. So that's the day after I would have finished my last master's class at 5:30 the next morning, I showed up at kickboxing for the first time. So that's where I was introduced to the kickboxing aspect, which has then completely changed my life back for the better. And now at this point, I weigh between 200 and 210. if I can stay closer to 200, I'm happy. But if I'm within that range, I feel okay. And don't think I need to make any drastic moves. But yeah, so I have to find my gotcha or the reason why I do it every time.
The day that you walked into kickboxing, did you have any experience kickboxing, or was that your first?
I did Taekwondo growing up. I got a black belt in Taekwondo when I was a freshman in high school. So I've had martial arts in my past, but I didn't feel very comfortable with anything. I just knew how to throw a punch, basically.
Did your dad stick with his weight loss?
He did for a little bit, but he'll go through waves. So when I can see him, and right now he's at one of those points where I'm encouraging him, and he's doing better. And so he's had a new life issue or gotcha. So he has to watch what he eats now. And so my big thing is now it's going to be hard at a birthday party this Saturday not to eat cake in front of him. But I'm going to try to do my best of encouraging and support him at this point.
Cool.
Was there ever a point of excitement? There's been times when I've lost weight that I've gotten to a certain point and finally felt like it's happening. Holy mackerel. Like, thank God it's happening. Because I get so desperate and lost that I just feel like I can't stop. I'm I'm eating terrible and I just can't stop. And then undoubtedly I'll see a picture, or I'll put on some clothes, or I'll do something where I just feel so uncomfortable that something has to give. But even all those factors played in, sometimes I still can't make it change. But when that switch does flip, it is nice to feel the noose loosen a little bit and know that this is going to be the one. You know, I'll be able to ride this for 15 or 20 pounds.
So I used to have my fat clothes. I always heard that women have their skinny jeans or their fat jeans or whatever. Well, I had my fat clothes. I had my Memphis clothes, my comfortable stuff. And once I got engaged to my now wife, she kind of made me go through all of that and get rid of a bunch of that, and get clothes that actually fit. So that was one of those things that was kind of cool. I've never been a skinny jean kind of guy on purpose. So we went and bought nice jeans, nice clothes. And so it was fun. It was one of those like, oh, wow, clothes that actually fit.
Yeah.
That's a new idea. And then the other happy part was when I realized that it had all come together was when I PR'd on my half marathon and realized, oh, wow, all this work has started at a under 3 hour half marathon to now 1:47:11.
Damn.
Nice.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
So
We didn't even talk about it. I didn't even know that you ran.
yeah. Well, I haven't been running lately. That's one of those things I want to get back into.
If I ran a 1:47 half marathon, I'd never run again.
Well,
That'd be plenty.
then I won an entry the next year I worked at Campbell Clinic, and so I ended up winning that, and I was like, oh, I don't need to train. And at the end, I was like, crap, I need to train. And I ended up running a 1:52 or 1:53. I was like, okay, not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. My
That's
goal was
still
just
pretty
2
good,
2
Yeah.
hours.
Man, that's amazing. That's kind of the mark. 2 hour half marathon, 4 hour marathon is like, when you can do that stuff, my hat's off to you.
Right.
Once I PR'd, I was like, I'm gonna run a full next year. I gave myself 3 weeks after somebody said, before you make that crazy decision, wait. After I didn't run for 3 weeks, I was like, never mind. That dream's done. 13 is a great number to stop at.
Where are you now? Do you run at all?
Occasionally, I'll run with my wife. We did a half marathon in Gulf Shores last year together. And at some point, I'm going to try to get ready for a race again. I don't know which one I want to do, but I do want to do another half.
The half marathon, did you do just knowing that you could do it based on your fitness level from kickboxing and F3?
Well, at that point, that was before the F3, but I did use my kickboxing, so I would run, and then I'd use my kickboxing as my strength building, because we do a lot of push-ups or we do a lot of exercising with the arms and all that. So I really stayed out of the weight room the whole time, but I was able to work on sprints. I had a track coach at Briarcrest when I was there and he was very encouraging in the process, and he and I kind of bounced ideas back and forth between each other, and you need to have a speed workout. And so I found a little training program that One of the days was a quarter-mile sprint or up-tempo run, and then you jog the same lap just to recover, and then you do it for anywhere from 4 to 10 times, and that's your workout. So that was the big thing, was just putting it all together. I hate focusing on one thing, so that's why I do the F3, the kickboxing, the spin classes with my wife, or the weight classes with my wife. I don't want to focus on one thing because I don't want to get specialized in one area, because I feel like I'll fall off at some point. But if I can do I'm on the lines of I want to do a bunch of things mediocre and give my heart into it, rather than try to do one thing and that's it. I want to be able to meet other people in other avenues.
That's why you need the Lift Heavy Run Long app. Because that's what you get.
Because there is community on there.
That's
We
right.
didn't even talk about that. What's your association with Briarcrest?
I was one of the athletic trainers there
Really?
for 4.5 years.
From when to when?
When did I finish at Memphis? Started in the summer of 2014 until January 20th this past year.
So not the Hugh Freeze era.
No. I worked with him at Lambeth.
Oh, you did?
When I was doing my clinicals at Union, I had one of my college football rotation, I worked with Lambeth. And it was his last year there when we actually had a really good team.
Okay. And then you said that you traveled with the University of Memphis. What did you do for them athletically?
So I was the athletic trainer for the men's soccer and men's tennis team, in which men's tennis actually took me. We won a conference championship and ended up going to the Sweet 16 for tennis. Never thought I'd be excited about that, but when I beat my boss to get a conference tournament ring, I felt pretty good. And then I would also help with.
You beat your boss in tennis? Y'all
Oh, no. He worked with the football team full time.
Okay.
This was when the football team was not good. And I've grown up a lifelong Memphis fan, so I've always cheered them on. I got to work at the school that I always cheered on. And so I have my ring that has the Memphis Tiger in it.
No
So
kidding.
Cool.
I'm excited about that. But now
Yeah.
when football won, I saw their rings the first time they won, or the co-conference champions. Their rings are way bigger than
They're
our
pretty
small
sweet.
tennis ones. But my coach actually surprised me. I showed up to get something and try to help him out, and he said, "Oh, by the way, we wanted to do this formally, but I'd forget," and so he gave me a conference championship ring. I wasn't even expecting it.
Whoa.
I just
That's
knew the kids were
really
getting it.
sharp.
That's pretty cool.
So that was a fun way to do that, and I put my time in, and I went over and beyond, and so I was repaid by it.
Obviously.
It was Coach Goebel was super great to work with. Both my main teams were great to work with, but then I would help with football, set up IVs, or during their 3 days, everybody worked football, help track because there's too many track kids for one poor athletic trainer at the time. So it was just really dabbling in all the sports, but we had our main focuses.
I bet that was a fun experience.
It was. It was really good to get out of it because I really wanted to do Major League Soccer. So I thought working with soccer would be great, making connections. But after working over 16-hour days for a long time, kind of got burnt out of it. And there's other things. So when I went to Campbell, my boss told me in my meeting, or when I was in my interview, he said, "You only work 40 hours a week. You can do this job in 40 hours." So that was a nice way to realize there's more to life than not only athletic training, than to work, period. So that kind of helped fill me up and realize, I've got time to focus on my health. I've got time to focus on friends and family, and I can still have enough time to work on job.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good deal. Well, man, our time is up. Our hour is over, and that's what I asked you to commit to us, and I appreciate you taking the time to come out here.
I appreciate it. Thank you all very much
thank
for
you.
having me out here.
This
to
has
see
been
you.
fun. Lift Heavy Run Long number 90 is in the books.